We're going to get started here in a second. Welcome, everybody, tonight. We got a nice full house. This is great. Hello, everyone. Hi, everyone. That's better. That's better. Nice to see everybody on that. I know it's hot, but it's cooler in here, so we're in a great place. And make sure that we turn that air conditioning down to 0. We're going to start this meeting at 6:32 p.m. on Monday, August 5th. I want to remind everyone of per the city's rules of decorum, all speakers, members of the audience, and council members are to conduct themselves with decorum and not to engage in conduct that interrupts the orderly conduct of the city council meeting. Also, public comment through Zoom may only be accepted for the agenda items listed within the consent calendar, public hearing, and other matters section of the agenda. General public comments will be accepted at the meeting by those physically in attendance at the appropriate time. Tonight, we are very pleased to have a special Eagle Scout, the first female Eagle Scout in Laverne. Round of applause. She will be conducting the Pledge of Allegiance. Miss Talia Ortiz, you are already here. You have the mic.
All those in uniform, please salute by the numbers. All those not in uniform, place your right hand over your heart. Ready? Begin. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. 2.
If you can just wait there for a minute. Council.
Thank you. It brings me great pleasure to give this to Talia because I've seen her grow up and become the young woman that she is today. When she had the opportunity to be part of the Scouts, I know she really looked up to her older brothers and said, I want to be that. I want to do that. And she just shows how much determination and achievement any one of us can do. So really appreciate what you've done and gone through. So on behalf of the Verne City Council, this certificate is awarded to Eagle Scout Talia Ortiz with sincere gratitude for your dedicated service and historic milestone as the first female Eagle Scout in Laverne. Paving the way for future female leaders, your actions exemplify the pride of Laverne. Congratulations. And the pride of Laverne, little tile as well.
Okay, well, for my project, there's a bin over at the Bonita Fields over there. It's for the AYSO program, which is a soccer program here in Laverne, San Dimas, and also other places. But for that project, basically, I reorganized the inside of the bin. I added shelves. I also added a logo on the outside to add recognition to the program, so more and more people will want to join and take interest.
Awesome.
It's awesome. A lot of good things for our community. So we have to offer, through our service. Get back. I wanted to present you with our City of Laverne pin. So I don't know if you could put it on your uniform or not, but however, you earned it, right? Because it's earned, never given, right?
Yes.
So we do in the Army. So you got to go on hand. Oh no, we're gonna figure this out. Hold on, we're gonna do this right, Scout. We're gonna do this right. There you go.
Thank you.
All right, take care of yourself.
Thank you.
You don't need it?
Mr. Domer, roll call, please. Oh, and report out from closed session?
I'll do a roll call first. So, thank you, Mr. Mayor. Councilmember Crosby.
Here.
Councilmember Kashifagita.
Here, sir.
Councilmember Lau.
Present.
Mayor Pro Tem Johnson.
Present.
Mayor Hepburn.
Present.
All present, sir.
And now report out from closed session, please.
Thank you,
Attorney
Mr.
Bartle.
Mayor. There was direction given, but no reportable action taken in closed session this evening.
Thank you very much. Tonight we have two presentations. The first one is the retirement of Remy Handal, the Tri-City Mental Health Coordinator, and you're going to read that. Yeah, let's go.
I know. We lost it. So this is, for those of you who might not know who Remy Handal is, she has for many, many years been an employee of Tri-City Mental Health, and most recently as the executive director for Tri-City. And under her direction and her leadership, she has done an incredible amount of good work for the cities of Laverne, Claremont, and Pomona, furthering the reduction of stigma around mental health, providing services, vital services to our community members, and just raising awareness overall. And so this earlier last month, she left her position as executive director and will be joining the Los Angeles County Department of Mental Health as their chief deputy director. And so she's been with Tri-City, as I said, since 2008 and was appointed executive director in 2022. So we wanted to just take a moment and just honor Remy for all of her service to all three of our cities, really providing that compassion and that backbone in relation to mental health services. And so, thank you so much, Remy, for everything that you've done. It's been very, very much appreciated. I know you've been busy working with the school district, with our police, with everybody. So all the things that we have here, we wouldn't have if we didn't have you. So thank you, and I hope we are able to find a successor that will follow in your footsteps. So on behalf of the City of Laverne, we're presenting you with this certificate in honor of your retirement from the Tri-City Mental Health Authority after over 15 years of dedicated service. And likewise, I'm not going to do it with the same flair and pizzazz as Cash, but we offer it to you too.
And I wouldn't know how to do that.
The lapel pin. So thank you.
Get it out of here. It's dangerous. Moving on to the next presentation is the July Fire Department promotions. Mr. Nig, Chief Nig. I just want to say, too, on behalf of myself and the council, that we've known that there's been a number. I want to thank the BCs and also the chief for keeping us up to date on the fire crews that are going out on strike teams, resources. Myself, and I know I'll speak for my council, how proud we are of all of the members of the fire department for doing that, but also the same thing is getting there safe, working safe, and returning safely. And we appreciate the information you give us, because when any of our members of our employee groups go out, we want to make sure that they come back to their families and back to our city. So with that, Chief.
Thank you, Mayor, and good evening, everybody. It's glad to see everyone. Appreciate those kind words. We do have currently 2 crews out. I think that's all we have right now. 2 full crews out on 2 of the numerous fires that are up and down the state. And in fact, one of the individuals we're going to recognize is not here because he's up on the 4th largest fire in the state right now. But anyway, we've had a lot of really exciting movement in the fire department over the last month or two or more, just due to promotions and everybody striving to grow themselves personally and professionally. And because of that, we're here to recognize everybody's efforts and their new roles within the Laverne Fire Department. So Jarrett Perry, why don't you come on over first? So I'll just read his bio here, and then I'll say a couple words about Jarrett. So firefighter Jarrett Perry was born and raised in Rancho Cucamonga. He's has 3 older brothers and a younger sister. He graduated from Bonita High School, where he played baseball and golf. Scratch golfer, I found out the other day. He's been hiding that secret. Hopefully he'll start the first, ongoing Laverne Fire golf tournament. We'll let you all know about that one. He earned a scholarship to play golf at California Baptist University, which is not playing against you. After that, he completed his fire academy and EMT at Victor Valley College and then was hired by Cal Fire as a seasonal firefighter. After 1 season, I don't blame you, he was offered his position in Laverne as an ambulance operator in August of 2022. Again, one of the original EMTs from our really great ambulance operator program. His conditional offer to become a firefighter came in December of 2023, and when a position became available, he was officially promoted to firefighter on July 10th of this year. Jared has a longtime girlfriend named Maddie, and they live in Orange County. One thing I would like to say about Jared is he took our internal test to be, ultimately what we've ended up doing is hiring our full-time firefighters from our ambulance operators. It's created a really, really great hiring pool for us to not only see those coming into our firefighter ranks and be with us for the next 3+ decades, but to be able to mentor them from a very, very early age. So he took one of our internal tests and ultimately was on the list to be hired. We didn't know when that was going to be. We had another firefighter that we hired full-time, and we were starting an academy. Putting on an academy is incredibly complex and very expensive, quite frankly, for the city. And so we reached out to Jarrett and said, there's a possibility there may be positions in the not-too-distant future. If you're willing to step up and take on this extra role at your current rank and pay, we're willing to train you and get you ready so when that position opens up, you can step right into it. He took that on, didn't push back whatsoever, didn't gripe, complain. It was a lot of work on top of doing his original or normal duties as an ambulance operator, and ultimately his dream job came to fruition. So we were very thankful, very proud, and that just speaks to his character. So I wanted to introduce Firefighter Perry to the community as our brand new firefighter, and if we can have his family and friends or whoever's here come up, let's get a picture with City Council. That includes you. I'm going to tell a little story here real quick while we're getting ready. So Jared Tejan just started his career with Clark County Fire Department. He's how many weeks now? Okay, so they worked on the ambulance together, never knew each other before that, but have developed an incredible friendship, and that's why he's here all the way from Clark County to be a part of this. Awesome. All right, Jason Arrow, Captain Arrow. Yeah. So we're going to introduce Captain Arrow. Been with the department for a little bit, but is one of our newest captains, and then we'll get back to our engineer that is not here with us. All right, homesick. That's okay. I hope they're better. Jason Arrow came to the Laverne Fire Department in 2020 after working for the Rancho Cucamonga Fire Department since 2008. He was promoted to fire engineer in 2022 and was just promoted to captain paramedic in July. Jason has taken over our hazmat program after being a hazmat specialist since 2013. He revamped the necessary training and equipment requirements to bring all members into annual first responder training compliance. He's also a member of our REMS, Rapid Extrication Module team, and just finished the department's first REMS deployment. Jason is also qualified in USAR Urban Search and Rescue and Tech Rescue and continues to bring that training and experience to the department. Jason resides in Newport Beach with his wife, Jamie, and their 2 boys, Jack and Jesse. In his free time, he enjoys spending time with family, camping, going to the beach, and scuba diving. Captain Arrow is very technical, as you heard in all those descriptors that I just listed, one of those being hazardous materials. That is a whole world that is very complex and takes a whole lot of brain power to understand. I never liked it because there's a lot of hurry up and wait. But nonetheless, there's a lot of very technical required training that we must keep up with every year. And we were essentially void of that a few years back. And so we are now where we're supposed to be annually every year. And it's because of his professionalism and the dedication that he has to that world. So his family couldn't be with us tonight because they are homesick. So with that, congratulations. Yeah, let's do a big picture. Yeah, come on. You're not going to Andy Glaze, not me. Thank you very much. Yeah. You're up. Come on up. Yeah, come on.
Yeah.
Here we go. Oh. Andy Glaze. All right. Andy Glaze began his fire service career at the San Diego County Fire Department and joined Laverne Fire in 2013. Andy has served as the president of the Laverne Firefighters Association. You guys probably haven't heard of Andy, right? Nobody? And as a captain before his recent, promotion to battalion chief. Each of our chief officers is also assigned a collateral duty, those being training, support services, and EMS. Andy is responsible for EMS, meaning keeping the department current on all EMS protocol changes, serving as a direct contact and liaison for LA County EMS, coordinating audits, inspections, managing EMS QA/QI, and coordinating regular required continuing education training with our nurse educator. Very complex.
Sounds fun.
Andy is married to his wife, Lauren, and they have 3 children, Hayden, Marley, and Peyton. In his free time, he is an avid runner, a little bit of running, participating in numerous challenging races, and is quickly becoming the face of Laverne's health, wellness, and peer support programs. I'll say things on a personal level that I spoke to when Andy promoted. When I came to this department, he was the very first person that I talked to. And at the time, he was the president of the Laverne Firefighters Association, and it was very important to me to understand where the department was and where we needed to go. It was because of those phone calls and those conversations that I ultimately decided to take on the role. And I do believe it's because of his leadership within the labor group that helped us get to where we're at today. And now he's doing so more formally in a management position. Very thankful for all of his leadership. So with that, let's have your family come up. Congratulations, Chief Glaze. Oh, no. All right, and just to wrap up, we do have one of our members that couldn't be here tonight. His name is Max McCourt, Engineer Max McCourt. He is from Huntington Beach, California. He was an ambulance operator for Costa Mesa Fire and Rescue and a reserve firefighter for Fountain Valley Fire Department and a full-time firefighter. Sorry, guys, a little blurry. Rincon Fire Department. He started with the Verne Fire Department in November of 2021 and was recently promoted to engineer paramedic in early July. During his time off, he enjoys surfing, snowboarding, and playing or watching pretty much any sport under the sun, along with spending time with his friends and family. Unfortunately, Engineer McCourt couldn't join us tonight because he is deployed to the Park Fire in Humboldt County, where he and his crew have been protecting thousands of homes, literally, for almost 2 weeks, from the now fourth largest fire in state history. So he's literally trial by fire as a new engineer out there, and they should be coming home on a crew swap here in the next couple of days. So round of applause for Engineer McCourt, and we thank you. Thank you all for coming and making the trek out here. Everybody's families and friends. Thank you to our personnel for all that you guys do every day.
Thank you, Chief. Over here. You guys, fire department, you guys can go now. Go ahead and get out of here. You got babies, 1-month-old babies. You get out of here. Thank you guys very much for coming.
Thank you.
Oh, we're going to do a 5-minute break. Yep. We're going to go ahead and reconvene at 6:57 p.m. Now we move on to, let's see, we are going to announcements, upcoming community events. We're going to do Mr. Webb's right now. Right now we're going to, Councilmember Lau is going to discuss our Reggie Webb's family, and if they're here, we have friends and family. You can come up. I think that's it. Was he here still? Did he leave? At the floor. He's got it. He's not letting it go away anymore. Cash will get it.
So normally we would conclude this meeting in honor of Reggie Webb, which we will do, but being cognizant of the fact that we never are sure exactly when our meetings are going to end, we wanted to be sure that we honored Reggie for his years and years, as a lifetime of achievements. So for those of you who might not know Reggie Webb was a resident of Claremont. However, he did a lot of great work in the city of Laverne, one of which was he was a trustee for the University of Laverne and gave tirelessly of himself at all times to our students and our community. For those of you who might want to do a Google search on Reggie, if you don't know him, he has an amazing life story. Not only did he serve in the Coast Guard, but he was one of the very first African-American franchisees for McDonald's. And his family has left a tremendous legacy through his family by founding a foundation that benefits the community. He's got SEAM. If you see Gil Ivey is wearing the shirt for SEAM, it's a collective organization a collaboration that really works to promote and help Black businesses and Black families to promote generational wealth, how to support each other in community, but to also engage others in that community as well. And so he was an advisor to Brothers Forum at the University of Laverne. He was very active with our Black Student Union, but he just gave and gave and gave. For someone who is so busy with his own life, he really did so much for our community. And so we wanted to take a moment to honor the contributions that he made to not only to this city, but to the community at large. And so we have friends and family from Reggie Webb here to receive this honor on behalf of the family. So this is the tribute that we would end with later on today, but I wanted to, again, make sure that we got to read it for the benefit of his family and friends. In memory of Reggie Webb, the founder and CEO of Webb Family Enterprises, Inc. Oh, I know. Hi, Kyle. We were just talking about your dad. So, in memory of Reggie Webb, the founder and CEO of Webb Family Enterprises, Inc., he was a notable McDonald's franchisee who owns 16 restaurants in Southern California, employing over 1,100 residents. He was a leader in promoting diversity within the franchise community, serving as chairman of the National Black McDonald's Operators Association from 1994 to 1997, and was honored with the 365 Black Award in 2004. Reggie joined the University of Laverne's Board of Trustees in 2014, actively supporting finance committees, scholarships, and mentoring through campus African American organizations. Additionally, he served on boards for the Los Angeles Urban League, Pomona Valley Hospital Medical Center, and the Ronald McDonald Children's Charities. Reggie Webb passed away at 76 due to leukemia-related illnesses and is survived by his wife, Renee, their 3 children, 8 grandchildren, and 1 great-grandchild. So this is for you and your family. And on a personal note, I've known Reggie for a long time, having served on the Board of Trustees with him, and I couldn't have asked for a better person to have served with, a bigger person with a bigger heart. There was never a time when I couldn't call your dad and say, hey, I got somebody I think you could really help. Would you mind giving of your time? And he always said yes. He never said no. So he touched so many people's lives in so many ways, and I am so sad that he's gone. So thank you for sharing him with all of us and with the community. Truly appreciated.
But thank you so much, Councilwoman Lau. I think you captured his heart in a very real way. My dad, his mission in life was to create a thing called parity. He understood when he grew up in South Bend, Indiana, he would make trips to visit his grandparents and great-grandparents in Texas and in Arkansas. And, in the 1950s, the Mason-Dixon line was still a thing. So he remembers literally having to get up to go to the back of the bus. He didn't understand as a 9-year-old when he was making that trip by himself, because, you could do those kinds of things back then. Why, just because he passed a mythical line, did he have to change his station in life? He felt like that was not fair then. And in that 9-year-old, he felt like that should never be true for anyone again. And so all of the things that he did in his life was to ensure that people felt heard, that people had a place, and that opportunities would be made available really based upon your merit. And not just the merit in a lot of the ways that we think about them, but all of the opportunities that have come before such that you could be prepared for an opportunity today. He wanted those things to be equitable across the board. That's really, what is present for us now as we move forward. And so, yes, he has transitioned, and after I leave here, I'm going to cry for 20 minutes after your speech in my car. But that's also how he lives and how he will continue to live through all of us that he has touched with his words, his times, his thoughts, but really that space of being heard. And so thank you again so much for your words, and thank you all for the honor here today.
Thank you very much, guys. Announcements of upcoming community events. We'll now move on. We have a couple housekeeping items here. That tomorrow night is National Night Out, Las Flores Park, 4:30 to 7:30 p.m. Our police department will be out in its finest. They will have bounce houses for the kids. There'll be food to purchase. There'll be booths from various places from our community, outside the community. But this is the time for our police department for their civic engagement with the community. Let them know what we are. We're a friendly force. We're here to help people. We're here to make sure the kids know who we are. And it's a wonderful event. And I know the Chief's here right now. Did you want to say a couple more words, Chief? Or come on up. He's just sitting in the corner over there. Okay. He's doing his job. He's watching.
Yeah, good evening. Thank you, Mayor. Good evening, council members. So it's a long-standing tradition. It's an opportunity for the community to engage our police officers and have a conversation with our law enforcement, not only to showcase what we do in the community, it's just another opportunity, again, to ask questions, ask why. You know, if you are involved either within the Citizens Academy, and if you're not, maybe one day, yeah, you would like to be part of that, but to more or less learn more about your police department and what we do for the community. So you said quite everything we're going to be showcasing tomorrow, so please join us tomorrow, 4:30 to 7:30. There's plenty of events, face painting, fingerprinting.
Everything.
And the majority,
bounce houses.
Bounce houses, yes.
Yeah.
We also invited our friends from the fire department, so
they'll
be there as well. So,
Air conditioning?
air conditioning, maybe inside homes, but not at the park. But I'll tell you what, though, I will lower the degrees to about 98. I'll keep it under 100.
Very good.
Under 100.
Thank you,
But,
Chief.
welcome
Look forward to it. The other one, the item is this coming Sunday, which is our final concert series at Heritage Park. It's The Answer, so I know everybody loves The Answer. They'll be playing. What? They usually start at around 6:30 p.m., so get there early. They do have beverages for sale, not alcoholic beverages, but beverages, and pizza and stuff like that, and there's snacks. So, and our Heritage Foundation also, their inside shop is open to purchase things for that. So, on that, we've got a couple cards here for any other announcements, Council.
Just this Friday, we have our luau dance for special needs at the community center from 5 to 8.
Thank you. Anybody else?
Just
Go ahead.
two things. Tri-City Mental Health is running, wanting people's voices for innovative projects to create effective and innovative mental health solutions. So if anyone is interested, this is the QR code on how to get involved. But if you can share your ideas, or if you want to share your ideas, you can help shape what our programming looks like for the cities of Laverne, Claremont, and Pomona. So I'll leave this. And then my second thing is just a reminder. You might have seen it on social media or on our website, but we are searching for an ad hoc water and sewer rate committee. And so we need 5 committee members. Applications are available via the website. And the eligibility requirements are that either you're a Laverne resident or you're a business owner of a business in the city of Laverne. The term is for 1 year unless it's extended by the city manager. And the meeting schedule is to occur at least once every 2 months. So the day and time will be pending whoever is ultimately selected and what the availability is there. But you'll have an opportunity to provide your feedback and your thoughts on water and sewer cost service and design studies to ensure that our rates are appropriate for what we have. So again, if you're interested, I believe there is a stack of them, flyers on the table over there. So if you're interested, or if you have a friend or a neighbor that you think would be great on this committee, we would love to have them. So applications are due by the 15th.
Is that it, Council? We good? We move on to cards here. Sherry Best.
So now I see that we're going to be coming to National Night Out to the bounce houses and to be fingerprinted, but there's one other possible treat you want to avail yourself of, and that is the rollout of our peach mango jam, regular and spicy style. Not to be missed, limited run of jam, all from fruit picked in our backyard, and it is absolutely delicious. So that's what we love to do when the weather's like this, is stand in my kitchen and make jam at the stove. But what can I say? We have to do it when the peaches are ripe. And I would add to that, if you're interested, buy a jar of our southern dilly beans. If you have never had dilly beans, then that may mean you're not from the South, but dilly beans are the perfect item to replace your celery and your Bloody Mary. Chopped up, they are wonderful in potato salad. or I recommend you just eat them straight out of the jar in front of the TV, like one mouthful at a time. So we're selling our dilly beans, our peach mango jam, and that one mouthful at a time too. And all of our other jams and jellies at the Laverne Historical Society presence at the National Night Out. So come join us and enjoy. Thank you.
Thank you, Sherry. Adrian Romero, Laverne Library.
Good evening, Mayor, council members, and staff. First, I want to introduce myself. My name is Adrian Romero. I'll be taking over the position for George May. I'm not sure if it's going to be permanent, but I'm here for the meantime. I'll be there.
Welcome.
Thank you.
Welcome.
Yeah, I worked in Rolling Heights the last 17 years, and before that, I was working in East LA. So I've been a librarian for a long time.
Where do you live?
I live in Riverside.
Oh, so it's closer. Hey, you're getting closer.
yeah, getting closer. Yeah, so, but I would like to introduce some events and activities that Laverne Library will be hosting this month. First, our final session of our summer 6-week program is Smarty Pants Story Time. Will end on August 9th, but it will continue on August 30th, and that's for every Friday from 11 to 11:30 in the morning. And then on Wednesday, August 7th, we'll be holding, which is this Wednesday, we'll be holding a marble maze challenge for children ages 5 to 12. During this program, children can design a maze for marbles using straws, tape, and paper plates. On our big event where we have a paid performer come to the library, these are usually pretty popular. We have it'll be August 14th at 5 p.m. We'll be holding a magic show for ages 6 to 12. During this performance, Billy Bunker will host an interactive magic and comedy show with a British twist. And I also wanted to mention that August 9th is National Book Lovers Day. And so the library will be giving free stickers to anybody who visits the library this Friday. And the stickers say, "I love my library." And then, August 19th, we'll be holding a bookmark contest. It's our 45th annual bookmark contest where kids from kindergarten to grades 12, they could design a bookmark, and local winners will be displayed at our library, and we give like a gift bag. But the winners from each district, from each library, will go to the Board of Supervisors, and winners will be selected by the district, and they'll be recognized by the Board of Supervisors on the spring of 2025. And that's all the events that we have for right now. Oh, yeah, to register for the bookmark contest, you can either go to lacountylibrary.org, or you can visit the library to get submission forms and submit you can submit their entries for the event. Okay?
Thank you, Adrian, and welcome.
Okay. All right, thank you.
If you ever need anything, just talk to staff, and any of the stuff that you have, we'll get it in our flyer and stuff also and put on the website. So,
okay, thank you.
Yeah, we work together real well, and welcome.
Oh, thanks a lot. I appreciate that.
Any other announcements? Nothing? We'll move on to consent calendar. All items on the consent calendar are routine and will be enacted by one motion unless a member of the City Council or a member of the audience requests separate discussion. Councilor, are there any requests to pull an item from the consent calendar? Mr. Domer?
Yes, item number 15, which regards the cancellation of the August 19th meeting, was pulled by a resident. And then also, just to make a motion or a note about item number 13, which is the authorization for the 55-hour closure of Fairplex Drive for the Metrolink railroad track upgrades. And there's no dates associated with it, but we're trying to get it done as soon as possible. What we found out, I believe, today from Metrolink and their contractor is that it's going to be early September now, not the dates that were listed in the item. But so we still ask for the authorization. Does not need to be pulled because there were no date specific on it.
Does that project have anything to do with the double tracking?
No.
Oh, that has to do with the MWD. Is that MWD?
No,
Metro?
No, it's Metrolink, but it's
Oh, I'm thinking of the other one.
Fixing the asphalts and all that
The other
stuff
one,
around
the other
there.
side. Okay.
So,
Okay. Then we can go ahead. We'll hold item number 15, and we'll take a motion for the other items.
Motion to approve all consent items except item number 15.
Second? Second. Vote, please.
The consent calendar with item 15 pulled was approved 5-0.
Very good. When we go back to item number 15, we have the resident here that would wish to speak on that item.
Who could it be?
Miss Beauchamp.
Good evening, Mayor, Mayor Pro Tem, and Council. Hopefully you enjoyed my 2-month hiatus. Peace and quiet for you guys.
We always enjoy you here.
Thank you for allowing me to speak on this particular item. In discussing this item with City Manager Ken Domer, that many cities go to either one meeting or they don't have a meeting at all in August. And I think that's a fair thing for cities to do. However, in the recent events that y'all took a raise when Newsom allowed that, it seems like you're getting paid more and doing less. But realistically, you know, people go on vacation, especially when their kids are out of school. All your kids are pretty much adults now. But, you know, I don't think it's something that, in my opinion, as a resident, I don't think it requires something as formal as a resolution to do every time that you're going to cancel a meeting. So if it was to be predetermined that, you know, June, July, you have one meeting, in August you're black or something like that. I know it's hard to not have a meeting at all, because especially when August and school's starting and there's a lot of things that come down the pike for the fall. But as a resident, I you know, for the most part, I think you guys have been doing a pretty good job, and I'm personally okay with that. So that's just my 2 cents. And
Thank you.
You'll hear from me later.
Welcome back. Thank you. With that, we'll open up public comment on that item. We'll close public comment, bring them by the dais. Any comments on this item, or do we have a motion? Second? Vote, please.
Item 15 was approved 5-0.
Thank you very much. We will now, City Council will recess to meet as the Laverne Joint Public Financing Authority. Following the City Council will immediately reconvene. We will recess at 7:18 p.m. and now we will open up our Laverne Joint Public Financing Authority. There is one item in the resolution adopting budgets for the Laverne Mobile Country Club, Mobile Home Park, and Valley Rancho Mobile Home Park. City Manager Domer, please call forward the staff member who will be reporting.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I'm going to turn to my left and have Assistant City Manager J.R. Reynolds do this item.
Thank you. Good evening. Annually, the Laverne Public Financing Authority reviews and approves the operating budgets for the 2 city-owned mobile home parks. These budgets do not reflect significant changes from previous years and are attached to the agenda report for further review. At the time that the LVPFA acquired each of the parks, it was determined that there should be an annual review of their budgets. In line with the operating agreement, Haven Management Services prepares the budgets with the assistance of staff by evaluating each mobile home park's anticipated needs as well as increases associated to current trends. Additionally, the City Council assigned mobile home park liaisons, Mayor Hepburn and Councilmember Crosby, have reviewed the draft budgets prior to bringing forth the full LVPFA for final approval. This year's proposed budgets have sufficient revenues generated to support the recommended activities and allow, this is important, each mobile home park to function independently without subsidy from the city's budget. So there's no city funds that are used to support either of those mobile home parks. For Laverne Mobile Country Club, a significant amount of the revenues generated from this park are utilized for the bond payment used to purchase the park in 1996. This year will mark the 28th year of the 30-year bond payment, ultimately ending in 2026. Revenues are expected to be relatively flat with an estimated 3% increase in space rent for March 2025. In line with the water meter project and associated billing for water, there is an associated reduction in space rent this year. However, this is anticipated to have a neutral effect on the overall budget. As included with this year's budget is $42,000 for crack fill and seal coating of the interior streets, $50,000 for driveway, and $50,000 for wall repairs, as well as $9,000 for remodeling the park's laundry room. As part of the bond financing utilized for purchasing this park, a homeowners council was created for the mobile home park that's also reviewed and given their support for this budget. For Valley Rancho, Expenditures in the budget are similar to prior years as well, with additional funding going towards recent staffing changes such as a new manager, a new part-time employee, because there was only one employee there before, and then refurbishing the on-site manager's unit, which will cost approximately $25,000, and replastering the community pool that will cost approximately $25,000. And as noted earlier, for fiscal impact, the revenues that are generated for each park will cover the costs that are associated with the budget. With that, the recommendation is for the Laverne Public Financing Authority to adopt the attached resolution titled, "A Resolution of the Laverne Public Financing Authority Adopting a Budget for Laverne Mobile Country Club Mobile Home Park," as well as adopt the attached resolution titled, "A Resolution of the Laverne Public Financing Authority Adopting a Budget for Valley Rancho Mobile Home Park." And I'd be happy to answer any questions and also point out that John Davis, our longtime partner from Haven Management Services, is here as well in case there's something technical that we want to call on him for. Thank you.
I do want to say
And just to add to that, we're good stewards with the money as well. That is not coming out of any general fund budget. That the parks pay for themselves, and so it's not coming out of other funds. And we can make sure that we're having all of keeping our city funds together. So, and that goes for the management company and for the city staff that really help and look over that.
And on top of that, and I serve with Councilmember Crosby on that committee. Also, it is a revenue source for our community. So, and we want to make sure that we do capture that revenue source in a gentle way, but to make sure that it does make a profit. It goes to our general fund and it affords other things for our community, which is very, very important. So, Councilmember Lau.
This is just a point of information on resolution. The second resolution for the budget for Valley Rancho. There's just typos in the now therefore be it resolved section. So if you can just make sure that everything is.
Make it right before we sign it.
Thank you.
With that, I'll open up public comment. Any public comment on this item? That would be no. I'm going to close public comment, bring it back up the dais. Any other comments before we go to a vote?
No, I just want to make sure that we continue to make it safe, clean, and affordable. That's my biggest thing because it's tough out there for people. So as long as it's in a great area, which I've seen, it's clean, safe, and it's affordable for our families and our seniors, I'm all for it.
Very
Thank
good.
you.
Then I guess you should make a motion.
I make a motion to approve.
A second? Vote, please. We're voting for both of these items. Is that correct, Madam Attorney?
And that motion was approved 5-0.
Very good. We will now adjourn at 7:25 p.m. and we will re-adjourn at 7:25 p.m. for our regular meeting. Now we move on to public hearings. Thank you, John. We have one item tonight, confirmation of weed abatement clearance charges for fiscal year 2024-2025. City Manager Gilmer, please call forward the staff member who will be reporting.
I'm going to go ahead and handle that myself, Mr. Mayor.
And we also have someone who waits in.
Before you, so on February 5th, the City Council declared a list of properties that required some form of abatement or inspection. On February 20th, there was a protest hearing held here at City Council. Each property owner who was noticed was legally notified about what was going on. They're given dates to do it, or the county went out, because we do contract with the LA County Department of Agriculture to make these abatements. And so most of the charges for the properties that are attached to the staff report are $51.59. That's an inspection fee. There were 2 undeveloped parcels that were about $12,150 total. That was actually a clearance, and that gives you the total amount around $16,000. So LA County, if passed and directed to by this council, will add that to the property tax bill, and they will get reimbursed for their service. So if there's any questions, please let me know.
Any questions for staff, council? We'll open up the public hearing. Anybody wish to speak on this item? No, we'll close public hearing. Back to the dais. If there are no more conversations, we take a motion. Second. Vote, please.
That motion was approved 5-0.
Beautiful. Thank you. We now move on to other matters, which is item number 1, support for the Homelessness, Drug Addiction, and Theft Reduction Act. City Manager Domer, please call for the staff member who will be reporting.
Once again, I'm going to go ahead and take that, if that is okay. Basically, at the May 20th meeting, the mayor asked that this item be put forward. This was one of 2 proposals that was floating out there at the time. This is pushed by the California District Attorneys Association, and it actually was a petition qualified for the November ballot. The governor and the Democratic leadership were looking to, through I believe it's Senate Bill 1381, I could be a little bit wrong on that, but put forward another bill that would counter this one. In the process, when a ballot initiative is qualified for the state November election or the primary election, the legislature tries to, deal with the group, maybe come up with something different. In this case, they couldn't get agreement, and so they missed the deadline to qualify another one. So Prop 36 is the Homelessness, Drug Addiction, and Theft Reduction Act, and what it does is it takes what were some of the changes under Prop 47 from many years ago and tweaks them a little bit. So it does add some fentanyl, which there's been multiple fentanyl bills going through the state, but they have not been able to get up to the governor's office to be signed. It does make some tweaks to sentencing issues with theft, retail theft, what we've seen. And then it also gives judges a lot of discretion in some of the sentencing issues, potentially allowing people to, basically when it comes to homelessness, if somebody, LA County hasn't had it, but there's been what's called a homeless court. So, but it allows discretion of a judge to offer a leverage, like if somebody has multiple convictions, that they could go to rehab, drug rehab, or some other type of mental health rehab to get rehabilitation versus being put into jail. Some of the criticism is that the Democratic leadership did not want to escalate prison costs. We all understand that because going to prison costs a lot and doesn't rehabilitate somebody. But the California District Attorney's Office has pushed this forward as a reform to Prop 47. In the history, because there's a couple questions about, well, why should the city council take a stance? The city attorney can talk about why a city council can. In the history and just kind of looking at our resolutions when it comes to this council taking actions. And just a quick review, there's about 14 different times at least that the city council has taken actions all the way back to 1952 on different statewide ballot initiatives. But pretty much the information that's put into the resolution ends the kind of stance that the city council has on it. The city council cannot advocate. They can educate, and this is part of, I guess, that education as to which way. But, Madam City Attorney, if you want to talk a little bit more about that.
I'd be happy to. Mr. Mayor, members of the council, the city council is allowed to take positions on all kinds of legislation, including initiative measures. We regularly meet with our legislative analyst and look at bills that maybe we would like to support, the league might support, the COG might support, that type of thing. It is not necessary that you always do so by resolution, but when we're dealing with a statewide initiative, it's typically preferred that you, if you're going to take a formal position, you do it by resolution. And so that is why it's brought before you tonight. There's one thing. It's one thing to pass a resolution in favor of or opposed to a particular bill. It's a different thing entirely for us to expend public funds on campaigning of any kind. So this is not a campaign type action. It is a legislative policy making choice. Be happy to answer any questions.
Thank you.
Yeah. And Mr. Mayor, just another question that came up is why now? So since the time it was asked in May, it has qualified. Basically, the propositions have been set on the ballot. Andrea Blockinger in the city manager's office has put together a lot of information and done some research. So we brought it forward tonight just because it was a light agenda also. Does action need to be taken tonight, or could it be kind of floating out there for another council meeting just to get some more resident interaction? We're open to that. The November 5th general election is Tuesday, November 5th. It's a day after November 4th, but if the council were to take some type of stance on it, probably should do sometime in September or before the first meeting of October.
Okay, Councilmember Crosby.
How many other, I know a lot of individuals have put their point of view on this, but how many other cities have put their for or against this? Do we know?
I don't know. I don't know. Staff looked at that. Since it's qualified most recently, there probably aren't a lot. Many cities do only hold one meeting in August. But we can get that information and bring it back to you if you'd like.
And is this time for questions or discussion as well? Should we do resident? And
I think
come
we
back?
should do the public comment
Thanks.
first, and then we can come back.
And Mr. Mayor, on that, there is we get a lot of our information from either Ballotpedia or the Yes on 36 campaign website, where they do have a list. The California League of Cities has taken a stance of support. There's many dozen, I'd say, over 100 local elected officials, and on their website, there's listed about 6 or 7 cities right now, but as the city attorney said, since it's been qualified, there haven't been too many meetings. So if there is a continuance or something like that, we will certainly get that information for the council.
Okay. We're going to go ahead and open public comment. Any public comment on this item? Ms. Beauchamp.
Good evening again, Council. I'm glad to see that you guys are addressing this specifically, not part of your consent with the remainder of the legislative actions that have taken place this year. This is a serious problem that is affecting all cities, as we know. The smash and grabs, the shoplifting. I mean, it's affected everybody, whether you're a business owner, you work at a place where it's happened, or you're just a Laverne resident. You see it on the news, you've seen the videos. So I think it's important that you guys were addressing this specifically. I am in favor of you tabling this and bringing it back at another time so that more residents can address it. They can understand it, as they explained that it just literally, like, recently made the cut to make the ballot. And I think some people still need to read the verbiage on it. Anything that we can do to improve Prop 47 is a plus for any city, any entity. So thank you for addressing this, but I respectfully request that you table it to a further time when a more thorough discussion can be. And Mr. Crosby asked the same question that I was going to ask Ken, is that how many cities are backing this, or any other candidates that are running that find this necessary. I know some of the Nathan Hockman was speaking on it, but he didn't officially say he was in favor of it. So I'm still waiting to hear about that as well. So thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Beauchamp. Anyone else wish to speak on this item? We have a hand raised for Stephen Ward. Plumbing. AD do. There he is. There he is. He's live.
Stephen, you're ready to make comments.
Can't hear you. Yeah, it's.
Hang with us, Stephen. And make sure you're unmuted also. Okay, he's unmuted.
Yeah, we can see the. Yeah, he's going to scream at us now. Yeah, just call him. Come speak at the mic. Do it the archaic way, but it works. Whoa, Matrix. Aye.
Yeah. But nice.
Yeah, that did
Stephen.
it. There, that's better. I threw up all over myself. Okay, here we go. Cross your fingers. Here, got it? Yeah.
Stephen, I also sent you my phone number via email.
Here, I got it.
Oh.
Okay, we're doing this the archaic way. I'm going to bring out the chisel and a stone so we can make a tablet. I'm going to put you on our speaker right here. You have the mic.
Perfect. Thank you very much. Apologies for the inconvenience, but I appreciate the opportunity to speak on this topic. I wrote to you earlier, but I have some concerns about the city taking an official position on a ballot proposition. I understand that the city can take a position. I just don't know if they should take a position on a ballot proposition. I heard tonight that it has happened 14 times in history. I don't know how many hundreds of ballots of propositions have been during that same amount of time that the city has not weighed in on. In fact, on this ballot in November, there are a number of other propositions that directly affect local control, like Proposition 33 that has to do with rent control capabilities of local municipalities, or Proposition 5 that lowers the threshold for local bond measures to fund housing projects and public infrastructure. My point being is, regardless of the merits of the underlying proposition, Prop 36, which I think there's still a lot of debate about, I think as a matter of public policy, I don't think that the city should weigh in on a ballot proposition that is going to the vote of the people. While I understand the city does take positions on legislation through lobbyists and through position letters based on our public goals that we vote and pass on as far as our legislative agenda, I think a ballot proposition that's going to be voted on by the people should be left to that. Certainly not to say that each one of you in your individual capacities as public representatives and leaders in the community couldn't express your opinion and sign on to endorse or oppose any ballot proposition. I think you can and should, and I'd be happy to hear your opinions on it. But as far as the city itself taking a formal position on any ballot measure, I just don't think that's appropriate. I also think that it could have some potential political ramifications that just are not necessary. I know there have been a number of other cities, Arcadia, Covina, La Puente, Rosemead, locally, Lawndale, Whittier, that have voted in favor of this proposition. as well as the League of California Cities and Contract Cities Association. I just don't think we should. And again, that has nothing to do with the underlying merits of the proposition. I just think as a matter of practice, it's a slippery slope if we're going to weigh in on ballot propositions. There's 10 on the ballot this year. I don't think we should weigh in on each one of them. I think we should leave that to individuals and, of course, each of you individually. But as far as the city passing a resolution for or against any ballot proposition, I just think we should stay out of it. At the very least, I agree that perhaps we should table this to a later time to allow further discussion and debate over it. So I hope that you don't take any action tonight, or if you do, it's to not take action on this, right? If you don't want to take a position on the proposition for or against, that's not what I'm asking. I just, maybe table this item either to a later point in time or indefinitely. Thank you.
Thank you. Work. Anyone else wish to speak on this item? We'll go ahead and close public comment, bring it back to the dais. Mr. Crosby.
Danita goes away for 2 months and then steals my thunder in 2 seconds. I am in favor of tabling this. One of the pieces that City Attorney Barlos was really saying is that a lot of times our council is here to educate. And I think if we made an action tonight, that'd be one piece, stop, go. I think following and educating about this. I also, the points that Mr. Ward said as well, we've done since 1952, 14 different propositions the city of Laverne has either endorsed or went against. That means they were very significant propositions. Now, I'm not saying this one's not. I have my own personal beliefs at 47 and how awful that is. But I believe that what I would like to see is it brought back in time in September. But though we have asked 3 questions to our residents, is would you like us to go forward with this proposition? Would you like to go against it? Or would you like us to abstain from it, not even have that brought up from our council? I think those answers there will help us. And us more going out and talking about this will help decide what we want to do in the future. I believe we've been doing great with our legislature updates and our position letters that we've been sending to lobbyists and pieces like that. But again, what can of worms would this open up of which propositions do we address and which ones we don't? And I think that is a slippery slope that we could be going down as well. So that's my opinion, and I'm for tabling it to a September meeting.
Thank you, Mr. Crosby. Councilmember Lau.
I think one of the key things that has been brought up is education, and I think it's August and election time is not that far away, but at the same token, I would want to know more information about it, and I think our residents should have the ability, if we're going to use this as a platform for education. I think your vote is your vote. What you do in your voting booth or your voting center or at home when you fill out your mailing ballot is your choice. But I would hope that everybody tries to be as informed as possible. So I would advocate for tabling it so that we can have people share their viewpoints. I had a short conversation today, for instance, with the chief because I wanted to understand better law enforcement's perspective on it. And I think that's also important that we understand where it is. My personal beef with, I think, propositions or the way we conduct government sometimes is that it is piecemeal, and it becomes a little bit band-aided when we don't ask for everyone's perspective to see how can we work in concert to effectuate a remedy. So I'm interested to hear, I'm looking at the agenda packet and looking at the comparisons between this proposition and the one that didn't get put on the ballot. And so there's some interesting things there. One of which is, just inclusion of fentanyl, which I think we can all agree has been horrible for the community. It, is so dangerous. But there's other things on here that I think warrants folks knowing what's on the ballot. There is a lot to review. There's a lot in here about discretion for judges, which I'm not necessarily against, but then I hope that means that everybody is actually reviewing their judges when they're up for election, because I know that can be a daunting task as well, because you're just looking at the list of names going, I don't know who that is, and I don't know what their record is or where they stand. And so maybe this is an opportunity for us to think about how do we educate folks, or at least point people to the right resources so that they can make educated choices about the lives they want to live and the communities they want to shape. So I would be in favor of tabling this to a later date to allow for additional discussion.
Thank you, Councilmember Lau. Councilmember Cash.
Well, I don't necessarily agree tabling this. I think we should, if you're going to take a stance and take it, in 25, this is my 25th year in law enforcement that I've worked in, and there's only so much education you can keep pushing and telling people, how much enough is enough. Now, for me, and I'll speak in my experience, education is good, but I mean, how much more do you want to keep telling people to stop robbing, stop breaking into my homes, stop going out there? We just had another incident not too long ago down here on the south end involving a parolee at large that I'm just waiting to see when he's going to get released again. And so how many more victims do we constantly have to have? How many more education do we need to keep telling people? I've been doing this long enough to know, and that's okay. So if some people wish to table it, I'm always in agreement with that.
Just a point of clarification, I'm not talking about educating people who might break the law or whatnot. I'm talking about educating the voters about what the proposition
I'm with you.
actually
I'm with you,
says.
and that's what I'm saying. I want to educate. If you guys want to educate the public, that's fine. I just don't know how much more education we keep telling people. So I'm okay if you guys want to table it. I'm always, in agreement with that, but I'm ready to vote and go forward with it.
Thank you, Councilmember Cash. Mayor Pro Tem Johnson.
Tim, I know you put this on the agenda for us, and you have good reasons for doing that. I'd like to hear those reasons before making a decision whether to vote or to abstain.
Sure. Absolutely. Well, first of all, Prop 47 never should have been on the ballot, and they basically, when they put Prop 47 on, it was basically smoke and mirrors. It's created nothing but issues for our police department, for our families, for basically everyone that's shorter bail. There are multiple offenses. You get a misdemeanor and you're off on your way. And the incarceration and a lot of the things that's happening, we're in a bad spot right now. And I believe that this is again, we never should have had Prop 47. It wasn't, people didn't look at it closely, and I do believe that we should review and take it apart. But as I read this one, it's doing the things that never should have happened in the first place. It is taking it apart, and it's putting more teeth into incarceration so that people aren't doing the smash and grabs, the fentanyl crimes, added sentences, added time for amount of fentanyl. And I just think that, unfortunately, 47 and the other two that happened have crippled us, have crippled our law enforcement. You see these smash and grabs now through every community, and it's just uncalled for. We've had a number here, Rodeo Jewelers. We've had, runs on stores. It's just crazy. And I think that, again, I believe that people need to review this, but at the end of the day, I believe that this addition is going to unwind some of 47 that's going to make a difference for our people to be safer in their communities and our law enforcement to be able to take these people and lock them up where they need to be. It's just enough is enough. It's enough. We've been having so many issues with so many neighborhoods that it's okay to just steal. Well, it's not okay to steal. We're having home invasions right now, and I keep saying smash and grabs. You just can't go into a department store and steal hundreds of thousands of dollars of goods and walk out. Nothing's happening, Nothing's happening. So that's really the basis, Mayor Pro Tem Johnson, is the fact that 47 never should have been voted on. It should have never even been on there. And it's 125, and what were the other ones, Chief? AB 109 and Prop 57. Was it 57? These things came on, and really we were not told what really was, and shame on us for not reading it, not having it out there in the open with people to look at and say, look at the small, fine lettering in here, how this really means, what this is going to do. And now we have to take something to undo the terrible thing that has happened over the number of years. And that's why I believe that I believe we should support this, because this change will undo so many things and make us, our police department, and our residents in a safer place, for the fact that these new parts of this law in place are going to make it better. They're going to incarcerate people. They're going to throw them behind bars if they do heinous crimes. Anything to do with fentanyl, anything to do with what their crimes are, it changes the matrix of 47 and makes it to where the residents are being more protected. Our police officers and our police forces have more tools in their arsenal to take these people off the street. I mean, it's just crazy. This is ridiculous. So does that answer your question?
And hearing that, I would like to support this resolution.
Second? Do you want to, any more comment on that?
Well, if we are going to put this to a vote tonight, I would actually ask for my to abstain, not because I am against us doing that or for us going forward. I just would like to hear from the residents from what they're doing, because I don't know of the urgency of it doing tonight. Of course, well before the election, bringing it back. But I don't want, if it goes to vote, and my abstention is me saying, no, I don't want this resolution.
Well, I don't want to put it in. I think it's more of just having our residents absorb this a bit. Mm-hmm. It did just get approved, but there were also some factors behind this measure. They were doing a poison pill. If this measure was passed, there were like 10 items that never passed through that Newsom was trying to pass through, which were unfortunate. Because if that passed and they were to put these poison pills in effect, it would have unraveled the whole thing, which is really, it's like, come on, seriously. This is ridiculous. This is just law and order. I support this. I'm not against supporting having the community absorb it a bit to see what it is, because, like you say, it did just happen. I am 100% behind this. So, I mean, really, at this point, I do support it. I do support it.
So I would say, similar to Councilmember Crosby, if we're pushing it to a vote tonight, I'd abstain. And again, not because I'm not in support or against it, one or the other, but I think that, again, we have the opportunity here with our platform to educate voters. Because how many of us have gone to the polls, let's all admit it now, right, where we've maybe voted for a candidate or voted for a ballot measure but did not have the opportunity to really absorb everything that's in it. And so if we have this platform and we have residents that have said, let's talk about this, then I think that's more impactful, because people may look and say, okay, the city of Laverne supported it. And that may be the only reason they vote for or against something. And maybe people think that's great. But I would rather that our residents get used to, hey, let me do a deeper dive into this and let me understand what I'm really voting for, because there are going to be impacts. Good, bad, ugly, we don't know, but it's August. And the election's in November, and we have a platform. We have the ability to go out and tell our friends and our neighbors and say, do you have a feeling about this? Because I also think that we've shied away from talking about politics in a non-confrontational, educational manner. And if we have the opportunity to exemplify that here, then why are we rushing this? And I think, to Danita's point, she's got people that she's waiting on to hear where do they stand on it. Be out of curiosity, right? And that may be the same for all of us. And so, like I said, if we are going to push it to a vote today, I would abstain, because I don't know. And I'm going to be real honest. I don't know completely how I feel about it yet. I do think that there are things that need to be fixed, because we do have people running around out there doing bad things to good people, or doing bad things, period. But again, I don't want to feel like I'm being forced into making a decision without having the opportunity to really hear from folks, including our residents, who may say, you don't need to tell me how to vote. I'll figure it out on my own, right? You don't need me to say yes on this, no on this. Vote the way you feel. Vote the way your experience tells you to vote. And let's all educate each other. So that's where I stand on that for tonight.
Mayor Pro Tem Johnson, if we were to table this, we already know our feelings. I mean, there's 33 votes. Obviously, we're going to carry. I mean, would you be comfortable retracting your motion to let it go to the next month, as knowing that our three already are in support of this, and give our other two council members and the community a little more time to digest it, and then come back and discuss it fully? I think that discussion is going to be the same. It's not going to change my view whatsoever. I've talked to law enforcement. I mean, we've seen what's going on, and you don't see a day that something doesn't happen that's heinous. But I do want interaction with the community. I don't want to just say, hey, well, this is what we're doing. More than likely, I would say that this particular new will pass, and with that, hopefully, will pass. And I'll throw another caveat in here that without a strong DA, this means nothing, what we're doing right here. So I'll just throw that one out there. But would you?
Yes, I would withdraw that. I would withdraw my motion to place this instead on the next council agenda.
At that time, we would.
So that'd be the September 3rd. And Mr. Mayor, members of council, what we could do, I have great faith in my staff. Andrea, if you're listening tomorrow. What we can do is put some, and we'll work with the city attorney to make sure that we're within the law, put some information on our website at cityoflaverne.org/legislation. And we'll also have a polling feature. It's not scientific, but it will have those three questions.
That's
do you
great.
support, do
That
you
helps.
oppose, or just that city should not take any action? And it only allows one vote per, however they allow that, email address and all that stuff. But we can put that, we'll get some information. Since we do not have a August 19th, we have time to put that together. So that's about 3 weeks or so to put it all together.
So we don't need to vote on that, or do we need to vote on that? Just
If you vote to continue.
a motion to continue. Councilmember Johnson.
Motion to continue.
Second. Vote, please.
Item 18 was continued to the September 3rd council meeting.
I do want to make one comment once we leave this, that Andrea Blockinger did an amazing job. We had 15 position letters for the different bills that were submitted. This is really important stuff to look at. This affects our communities. This affects our police department. She broke it down into bills by topic, and I think this is something you really need to see. Bills by topic, you've got Public Works 6.7%, Housing 33.3%, HR Finance 26.7%, Police 26.7%, Fire 6.7%. These bills directly affect these areas. So this is really important that we pay attention to this stuff. And I know in the San Gabriel Valley Council of Governments we do the same thing, and we're working hand in hand with them. But these are very important to look at just to see where we're headed, how it affects our city, how it affects our departments. It's really important. So kudos to Andrea and her and City Manager Ken Dormer and staff for putting this together. And also our budget, we didn't check, but we also had our treasurer's report and our register audit demands and all these things on there. There's a lot of work that goes through these consent calendars. We pass it in 3 seconds, and it's hundreds of hours worth of work, and I do appreciate it from all the staff members. So with that, yes, please.
So just my one last comment, because I think this is an awesome moment for us to be able to think about what we do critically. As the mayor indicated, this is one proposition that has to do primarily with one thing, but nothing exists in a silo. We don't as people, and neither do the things that we work with, right? So things that impact law enforcement or things that impact crime, there's also an impact in other places, whether it's financially, whether it's, socially, whatever that looks like. And so I encourage people, as you're educating yourselves and getting ready for the November ballot, understanding the interwovenness of all of these things. Because I want people to be advocating for not just the deterrent, right? When people do bad things and there's no chance of, saving that, what are we doing on the front end to make sure that those people never get to that place? And that means better education. That means better services for our students and our children. better environments for them to grow up and be educated and find opportunities to be successful. So I'm not saying, again, yes or no on this either way, but I want us to expand our thinking to be about holistically what is this, because nothing exists in a silo.
Thank you. And also, we must always think about the safety of all of us. So we have a big election coming up. There's some major items in this in November that are extremely important to pay close attention to. The direction of our city, the direction of our county, the direction of our state, and how this is functioning. We need to bring it back to where our police department is able to take care of the people that are doing wrong, to protect our residents, to protect our children. So we need to pay close attention. Very, very, very important. So thank you. Great moment, Council. Thank you very much. Okay, now we'll move on to public comments and oral communications. This is the time set aside for anyone wishing to address the City Council on items not listed on the agenda, but within the subject matter jurisdiction of the City Council. I want to remind everyone that the Brown Act prohibits the City Council from engaging in discussion on any item not appearing on the posted agenda. However, your concerns may be referred to staff or placed for discussion at a later date. At this time, those wishing to make comments are present here. Please come up to the podium. Ms. Beauchamp.
I think it's coincidental that you guys had this proposition listed on the agenda for tonight, because I had planned to make a comment about the unfortunate signing of AB 195 by Governor Newsom. As the mayor just spoke about hoping to protect our children, I would like to know where, and in public comment, I know you can't engage, but in a future meeting where this council decides to stand on AB 195, which is if a student in a school, public school setting identifies as transgender, the staff of the school must remain, must keep that information away from the parents of the child or the guardian of the child. And I think at what point do you want to protect LGBTQ community members, but keeping information away from a parent is unconstitutional. Parents have the right to know what is going around, how their children are being affected at school. So I think this is something that is extremely controversial. However, it's eminent. It's there's books in elementary school targeting second graders about these issues, and so this is something that I would like to know where the council stands. And maybe it's just personal opinion. Yes, you're in favor for it. No, you're not. But that I think helps the community understand what kind of council they have. With you wanting to vote on this proposition, that sends a message that you want our community to be safe. Well, don't we want our children to be safe as well? So I implore that at some point in time, I know there's other things that need to be addressed, but this is something important. Although I do not have children of my own, I am a community member in terms of volunteering as an umpire for Little League. This was my 17th year. I was able to umpire the state tournament, and that was hosted in the city of Claremont, worked the championship game. And there's a lot of things you see out there, and I would not be doing my job if I was not advocating for children. So I would hope that you all do the same. Thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else wish to speak on public comment?
Hello, my name is Donovan Ivy. I'm a student from Benita Unified School District from Benita High School down the road. And I believe the city shouldn't take an official stance on whatever was official that she stated about LGBTQ issues. I believe it should be handled over to the federal government by the Board of Education, as they are more, in tune with this issue, and more people are more aware of certain issues in the state of California, as well as other states of neighboring, like Washington, Nevada, and pretty much Arkansas, pretty much all 50 states. So I don't believe what she is saying is wrong. I believe it isn't constitutional to hide stuff from the parent, but I believe that that's more an issue of whether the parent should be trusted with the information of the child. If there is some untrusted with the parent, like child abuse or whatever. So I don't fully support what she says, but I also kind of do, if that makes sense. Thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else wish to public comment? We'll go ahead and pose public comment. Council comments. Councilmember Lau.
Just wanted to say thank you to the community for coming out and showing up for July 4th. I think it was I know it seems like a long time ago. It kind of was. But it was nice to see everybody out and about. Props to our public, or all of our staff, public works, public safety, our city staff for just putting together a great event all day. To our Boy Scout troops who were doing the pancake breakfast, to the Methodist church that was hosting the barbecue and all of that. I think it really takes a village to put something that fun together for a whole day. So I just wanted to say thank you for everybody coming out. It was a good time. And then just a note that I wanted to share. I don't know how many of you are animal lovers, but if you've been, I was like, I know you are. He's got chickens. I mean, those are animals. So if you need eggs or honey, Steve's your guy. But I mention this because if you are paying attention to the news, our shelters are overrun. A lot of people are not spaying and neutering, or I've had calls from people asking me if I'm ready to have a dog again because my dog passed away a year and a day ago. But not that I'm counting. But it's sad when someone says, oh, well, I'm moving, so I just need to get rid of my dog. I mean, it's not great. So I bring all this up that if you are an animal lover, even if you can't take in another animal at this point, you might consider going to Inland Valley Humane Society to think about being a volunteer or to make contributions. August 15th is their day of giving, and all donations made that day will be matched. So if you are so inclined, I have a soft spot in my heart for dogs, but just letting it be known that unfortunately there is an overrun of them, and it's just really sad. So something to think about. But anyway, be kind to each other. It's nice to see all of your faces after a little bit of a couple weeks off. So we'll see you again in September, if not sooner, or tomorrow at National Night Out.
Come on.
So come on out. There will be, I'm sure, Sam, right? There will be
a margarita booth?
Cold. Well, I was just going to say like snow cones.
Wait, I'm sorry.
Something like, so there will be something cold, I'm
Sam's
sure.
house.
But come on out. It's a good time to just meet people in your community. I know Cassie will be out there. The Historical Society will be out there. I'm hoping Tupelo will be out there. Fire department's out there. So it's a great time to get to meet your neighbors, and it's fun. It'll be hot, but it'll be fun. So hopefully we'll see you there.
Thank you, Councilmember Lau. Mayor Pro Tem Johnson.
Just wanted to remind people to take advantage of all the things the city has to offer as far as the National Night Out and the concert in the park, The Answer, coming up. At the last one of the season, concerts in the park. Please enjoy. Thank you.
Very good. Councilmember Crosby.
About a week and a half, 2 weeks ago, the city of Laverne was recognized, and I had the privilege. I am the representative to our California JPIA. It's our risk management, and so the city of Laverne was recognized with a risk management award for demonstrating superior risk management practices at the July Board of Directors annual meeting. The CJPI Risk Management Awards recognize members who have demonstrated the best overall performance in their liability and workmen's compensation programs. A committee of the California JPI staff evaluated various factors that reflect member risk management efforts, including overall claims, performances, improvement in claims, performance over time, responsive and loss control action plans, and recommendations, participation in authorities' loss control programs, and attendance at training and academy opportunities. And it's because of the city and their really looking and really reinforcing their risk management. It helps the whole city as wide. It makes our insurance costs go down. But also, it just tells you the great things that our cities do is looking after its employees and our residents and making sure things are safe. So congratulations to the city of Laverne. And it was a pleasure that I got to represent all of you for receiving this award. So congratulations. Be careful driving. Students, school starts.
Gosh, he's taking my thunder. Good call.
School starts at Damien August 8th, I've heard. And August 19th, all of our schools open up for Bonita Unified.
Be careful.
And so these are a lot of, first, new drivers going to Bonita, and a lot of new parents not knowing how to go to.
Just say it. Crazy parents.
So be careful. Slow down.
Oh, sorry. Hey.
And
don't park like that.
School zones. Looking at crosswalks of kids walking to school.
Stay off your phones.
And making sure that we're really being careful out there. A lot more traffic is going to be starting happening really soon. The city of Laverne is starting a partnership with an autistic sports league. The Autism Spectrum Athletics. And their motto is where amazing and awesome happen. And so this league has been running for about 12 years in the area and really supporting Yvonne and her team and inclusion, and Ken and his leadership has really helped to reach out to this league and give it a home. And so you'll be hearing a lot about this league and trying to support our kids with special needs. Their season, their fall season is flag football and soccer. Their games are always on Sundays when most kids sports leagues do not play, so that all their families can enjoy and be there. Because a lot of times when you have a student or a child with special needs and you have another child that does not, that other child that does not, their sports usually take more precedence, which is not fair or right. It just does. And so having their league on Sundays gives the opportunity after church time and hours as well, gives them opportunity to have that whole family being out there. So their home is most likely going to be up at Wheeler Park. And so when those times come out and support that program as well. Lastly, I'd like to thank our city manager for his leadership. When Ken came aboard a little bit over a year ago, I believe our city has gone in a great direction. Just by our discussions tonight and having our legislative updates and our position letters, and then the morale of the city. I don't know if anyone knows, most knows what the city staff has been doing. They've been having City Olympics. And I'll let the mayor talk about that. But there we go. He'll let it go. But it's just the leadership of our city manager has been evident of what he's been bringing to our staff, and then it shows what our staff does for our residents. And so I just want to thank Mr. Domer and his leadership and what he does for not only all of our residents, but our staff as well, too. And
Andrea and also Aaron B., because they're the Olympic champion setup people. He's bringing the poster right now. You want another one?
Yeah, I heard the rec department is
they're
in first
killing
place.
it.
But
They're killing
the community
Here it is.
Relations, they're in first place. But
yeah, so not only did each department have to come up with a flag, but they had to name their country. Some of them actually came up with their own national anthems. So here, since Sam is here, yeah.
Where's the first one?
Yeah, Sambodia.
Sambodia.
This is the police department.
This guy right here.
Sambodia.
If he's wanted.
Look at that mug. Look at that mug.
New Lordsburg, our public works folk.
There you go.
The Republic of Chad. This is Parks and this is our rec department. So if you know Chad, that's
Actually,
Chad.
you guys are doing pretty well, aren't you? And,
Cancun.
Cancun.
That's Ken on a dolphin for
That looks like Ken.
Like a Greek god.
Stampaplania for planning. Finovia for finance. And Inferno Isles for our fire department.
Fire department. There you go.
So look at Sparky. So
Can I just jump in here and
Yes.
say that my late addition to the Olympic party is the country of La La Land.
Late
LAW,
edition. You're
LAW.
a write-in candidate.
And we will be holding our event on the final day of the Olympics on Thursday.
Thursday.
So,
That is the final day.
yes, the capital of La La Land, by the way, is Himla.
So we are basically giving you accolades that we really appreciate what the changes you've made, and we're actually working together so well as a team, all of us, from every single department, whether good, bad, or ugly sometimes. You can all discuss it and make better things for everything. And what are you doing over there?
It's just
your
fun.
turn now. Go ahead.
I've just been waiting.
Cash, your turn.
I really appreciate that. You can steal my thunder too. I mean, that's all I really had. Thank you. Appreciate it. You know, one thing I am appreciative is our amazing colleagues working together no matter what. You know, that's what I love about the city so much. And I take great joy and pride in representing the city and representing everybody here. But I did want to, you guys stole all the good stuff. That's okay. But there's one thing you guys forgot. We broke ground and got on. I normally don't like to be on the front page of anything, but the San Gabriel Valley Examiner has our great mayor and our mayor pro tem with the shovels and our amazing folks. Yvonne, I think you're here. I see you here. We see Megan. I see a lot of. I see. No, what I need to see is a doctor because I can't see anymore and I'm in denial. I'm trying to go like this. I don't know, but you know what? The shovel breaking ground, the Niagara Cares, and the city of Laverne.
We have not been drinking. I
No,
promise you.
I promise you.
But thank
That's
you
not
for
good.
all laughing about the romper room, because if no one got it,
Oh,
I would have
got
felt
it.
really old. I'd be like, anyone remember romper room?
Hey, if
Anybody?
everyone remembers Hobo Kelly and those Hobo Kelly
Yes.
birthday glasses, that was, yeah. Yes,
Thank you.
Cash? That's it?
No, Mayor, thank you very much. Appreciate you. And it was
I
good
guess
to
it's
see
me
everybody
now.
again.
I
Yeah.
got one item because everybody else took everything else. This is something Downtown Business District's doing. Yes, we have the concert, as Mayor Pro Tem Johnson said, the last one this Sunday. But Saturday, August 17th, 5:30 to 7:30 p.m., down at Monero Square, the Downtown Business District is putting on music. So I don't know what the music is, but they did it once before. It seemed to get a lot of recognition. So they're just having music playing while you go down and stroll, have dinner. So it's just something else to add to something we do for community events. But again, I want to thank everybody for coming, and I appreciate the fact that we can discuss things here. We do listen to our residents, and it's very important that we all communicate and make sure you get the right information. And if we have an issue out there, please contact us. But you utilize that. I don't have it on my phone, but utilize if there's a problem. I still don't have it on my phone. There's a phone app. You can go down the online. If there's an issue in the community that's a serious issue, or if it's a serious issue, call 911. But if it's an issue that's an annoyance or something's going on that shouldn't be, send it over. They'll get it. If you don't get a response, you call the city hall. But generally speaking, everybody's really good about it. I know we've had some graffiti issues lately, so they're trying to address those. But we're a different place than we were a year ago. So communication's important. People try to get back to you as quickly as they can. Very responsive staff, and they do a great job. So with that, Mr. Johnston, you had one other item.
One thing I wanted to go back to. Megan Cody, I do appreciate the stop sign on Arrow Highway or the crosswalk being removed. I'm not sure if it's actually happened yet, but
So you'll be there in the morning with sandblaster and jackhammer.
and then we had a conversation. We had a conversation regarding 8th Street at White Avenue, hopefully getting some more and better paint on the ground there, and with the reminder that school is starting, hope we could get that done sooner than later. Perfect. Thank you.
For those that are online, Cody said that it's going to be starting soft start today, but it's going to be moving along pretty soon.
Thank you.
And as Councilmember Crosby stated, please be careful. Schools are starting. A lot of new parents out there dropping their young kids off, preschool and pre-K. So not the children, I hope not. We haven't changed that law yet. But no, just be very, very careful. And you know anybody, tell them to stay off their phones, pay attention to what's in front of you, and pay attention to the speed, because our police officers will be. So be very careful. With that, our next regular scheduled Laverne City Council meeting is scheduled for Monday, August 19th. We're canceling that one, sorry. That was scheduled for Monday, August 19th, 2024, is canceled due to the lack of business. And the next regular scheduled Laverne City Council meeting, because of Labor Day, will be Tuesday, September 3rd, 5:30 p.m. As a reminder, upcoming events and meetings are posted on the last page of the agenda. And again, we are closing, as we did already, for Reggie Webb, the CEO of the Webb Family Enterprises, and his untimely passing. Again, everyone be safe, have a great time, and we are adjourned at 8:22 p.m. Thank you.